Ahoy there, Krew! This is your captain speaking, and today I'm going to redesign one of my OCs. This is Titan. Her design was inspired by this once-off artwork I drew for Funkoary way back in 2023. Since it was meant to be a one-and-done design when I went to design her full outfit, it wasn't very well thought out. It was a quick design I did last minute for Artfight last year. It didn't even match the vision for the type of character I truly imagined her as, so this is why I want to redesign her. First up, her background. It's still very similar, but needs some tweaking. This will be kind of vague and more before I plan for a big story to take place, as I still need to decide on kingdom names and the smaller details, but here is a little bit about her new background. The princess is the first and currently only child born to the king. She was trained in basic combat and strategy, as well as various social skills. A lot of pressure was placed on her shoulders as the heir. The king hardly ever interacted with her, rarely even checking in. Despite being mostly absent, he thought of her care and safety first. She would only be taught and trained by those the king trusted most. Most people felt uncomfortable with her. This was because they were unable to gauge her responses to anything, as the princess was raised with a veil to cover her face. She also kept mostly quiet, which didn't help her situation. With the veil hiding her face, she could easily keep distance between herself and those she interacts with. This could be to her benefit when she becomes queen, but because everyone tried to spend as little time with her as possible, she was left feeling lonely. The royal strategist, however, became her only friend. They would play strategic games together whenever both of them had free time. He ended up being the first person outside of her closest family she showed her face to. It was not long after turning 17 that she did something unforgivable by her father's standards that would get others in a lot of trouble. She came crying to the strategist's doorstep, requesting his help, and not long after, the princess and a small handful of palace staff went missing. And that's the sort of general direction I want to take her in. I have more, but I don't think I want to share that just yet, since I'm still cooking up some plans for her. Just popping in to remind you to like the video, which I assume you do if you made it this far, and subscribe to join our little pirate crew. We keep sailing closer and closer to our next goal of 200 subs. For Titan's new visual design, she looks pretty much the same, just a little updated to fit the development of my style. Her outfit and hairstyle have completely changed though. I like her having her hair tied back with no hair really hanging in her face. I think it suits her, but also doesn't cause things to look too busy under the veil. Her hair is out of her way, but the back is still hanging loose to add that little bit of feminine touch. The rest of her hair is just tied up into a neat bun. For her veiled outfit, she has a hairpin keeping it in place, but in her more casual outfit, I imagine she used the veil to tie the bun, so it could be a little bit more messy. The more formal outfit with the veil will have been what she wore in the palace, while the other one will be, I imagine, years after she had left. I imagine her to be around her early to mid-20s when the meat of her story will take place. Her design also shifted to be a little bit more Eastern. I always imagined her a little more Eastern than Western. Her design just never really reflected that as much. I did take a shift from the more traditional with the trim of her robes. I added some flair to them to make them look a little more unique. The trim also makes her look a little gentler, which is good. A cold exterior with a gentle heart. I cut out the portion where I was trying to figure out her color palette. It went on for a little too long and just made a bunch of flashing colors, so I thought it would be best to just cut it out. I've been cutting out the base colors recording in the last few videos, so that I don't have to speed things up so much. But having it here since it's more essential for the design would have been nice, but it's a little bit too flashy. I ended up giving her a nice and warm color palette. It's a lot brighter than her original, but I like it. Her hair is still the same color, but I made her eyes more yellow or gold as a nod to things I won't share just yet. I decided to bring the yellow of her eyes into her clothes and accessories as well. This just makes the design a little more cohesive. And this is how her sheet turned out. I'm very excited to share her with you all. I love how she's looking. I can't wait to actually use her for something. But that's all for today, Krew. I have to see you again for our next voyage. Bye bye!